السلام عليكم everyone and as I promised you here's the first video الخاص بالمراجعة النهائية لامتحان نهاية التربص الخاصة بأساتذة التعليم الابتدائي لغة إنجليزية. So yeah, before starting حبيت نقول برك بلي in this video حضرت مجموعة تاع activities or tasks or whatever you want to call them برك باش تكون عندكم idea on how the exam questions or instructions are being, presented. Okay? Yeah. So مش معناها كي حطيت لك هنا تمرين ولا سؤال معناها this is 100% وش راح تلقاها في نهاية الإكزام. Okay? Yeah. هذا مجرد تنويه برك. وكذلك I made this video باش يكون like a push, like a hand, a helping hand for your revision. Okay? So yeah. قبل ما نبدأ I divided my tasks into 5 different parts. Okay, so yeah, without further ado, let's get started. Part 1. Multiple choice questions, or better known as MCQ. This kind of tasks is the most common among all tasks, and you are here expected to choose one answer or 2 answers. It depends. But in most cases, you only pick one. So yeah, let's start with the 4 questions of this task. 1. Which type of assessment is conducted before teaching begins? You have here the choices. A. Summative. B. Formative. C. Diagnostic. or D. Continuous. 2. Exit tickets at the end of a lesson is an example of A. Diagnostic, B. Formative, C. Summative, D. Final exam. 3. Assessment after completing a unit is usually A. Observation, B. Brainstorming, C. Summative, D. KWL. Now, 4. Strategy encouraging learners to evaluate peers. A. Observation, B. Self-assessment, C. Peer assessment, or D. Mini quiz. I'll leave you now. نخليلكم شوية وقت to think of the answers and I'll be back with the answers. Take your time. Correction time. Yeah. So the answer to the question الأول what type of assessment is conducted before teaching begins هو C. Diagnostic. وعلى diagnostic على خاطر عنا keywords هنا before teaching begins. Number 2 the answer is B. Formative. على خاطر قال لك exit tickets at the end of a lesson. Exit tickets of the end of the lesson مش the unit. Number 3 الإجابة تاعها is summative. وعلى summative على خاطر قال لك assessment after completing a unit بعد ما تكمل اليونت كاملة. Okay. Number 4 strategy encouraging learners to evaluate peers. الإجابة كاينة في السؤال بعد اللي هي peer assessment. Now we move to part 2. Part 2, true or false. It's so simple, Number 1, formative assessment is mainly for grading learners. 2, mistakes usually happen because of carelessness يعني بسبب اللامبالاة تمام من جانب learner. 3, every learner needs the same remediation strategy. And 4, remediation should be continuous and adapted to learners' needs. I'll give you some time to think إذا تحطوا true or false. Let's check your answers together now. Formative assessment is mainly for grading learners. This is false, okay? After that, we have mistakes usually happen because of carelessness. This is true, yes. على خاطر it's not 100% carelessness بس حقول لك هنا keyword اللي هي usually عموما, okay? تسمى عادة, okay? Yeah. 3, every learner needs the same remediation strategy. This is false because we have mixed abilities classroom and, learners have different learning strategies. the same strategy ain't gonna work. Number 4, remediation should be continuous and adapted to learners' needs. This is true, 100% true. Part 3, matching. هنا راح يقول لك match each assessment with its purpose. Okay. وكما قادر يبدل لك الماتش اكتيفيتي هذه يجيبها لك على شكل a table chart, تابلو يقول لك يعطيك هذوما 3 types of assessment ويقول لك اعطيني البيربس تاعو. تما هك ولا هك you should be aware of the purpose of each type of assessment. Okay, yeah. So number 1 is diagnostic, 2 formative, 3 summative. Now let's read the 3 purposes اللي هما A, checks learning at the end, B, identifies prior knowledge, and C, improves learning during instruction. Okay, now I'm gonna give you some time to think and we shall come back. The purpose that diagnostic assessment is obviously to identify prior knowledge. So the answer is B. It identifies prior knowledge. 2, formative assessment. Formative assessment is obviously to improve learning during instruction. So the answer is C. It improves learning during instruction. And C, summative, اللي هو obvious كما كنا نحكي من قبل obviously كما كنا نحكي من قبل يكون at the end of the unit. Okay, so the answer here is checks learning at the end. Part 4 and my favorite in my personal opinion of course اللي هي classroom scenarios. I do enjoy these type of scenarios a lot because the answers في exam papers راح يكونوا varied and راح يكونوا enjoyable to read, So what I advise you is to do your best and don't be shy to share your own experiences. بالعكس تشكل فارق في النقطة كي تحط your own experiences plus logic. Okay, plus وش قريتي طبق وش قريتي وتانا تحكي your own experiences and your own thoughts. هنا رح تبين اللي قاعد يصلح باللي you know what you're talking about. Okay. So yeah, let's get started. On situation number 1, أحمد اللي هو for example your learner. وش بيه أحمد هذا؟ أحمد writes, yesterday I go to school. We notice here a problem. أحمد قال لك yesterday I go to school. سما كاين problem في past simple. وش مطلوب منك في التاسك هذا دير؟ قال لك is it a mistake or an error؟ لازم هنا تقولنا إذا هذا الخطأ الشيء هذا اللي يرتكبه أحمد جود هذا إذا mistake or an error. بعد يقولك justify and suggest remediation. سما هنا you have like 3 questions أعطوهمكم indirectly. Okay, and here I'm gonna give you the ready-made answer which is nope, it's not a mistake, it's an error. وعليها an error على خاطر أحمد هنا is struggling with a lack of knowledge. أحمد هنا عنده مشكل في فهم إنه كاينة regular و irregular verbs. يحسب بلي all verbs in the past simple يزيدوا لهم ed which is wrong. So the justification is that he doesn't know the correct past tense of the verb to go. كما كنا نقول a lack of knowledge. وش نقدر نديرو as a strategy هو إنك you just review the irregular verbs or provide more tasks or activities على sentence building in the past simple of course. Let's move now to situation number 2. عندك your learner Sarah says he goes to school. The instruction is this a mistake or an error? Should the teacher interrupt and explain? هنا as we notice بلي سارة she corrected herself. يعني ما بقتش تقول he go. She said he go, oh sorry, he goes to school. So is this a mistake or an error? Of course the answer here nope, it's not an error, it's a mistake. ثم هنا وعليه it's a mistake we should explain. على خاطر سارة هنا ليه I'm snapping with my fingers. ليه هنا سارة discovered her mistake and ليه صحت المستيك تاعها. قالك should the teacher interrupt? No, at all. We as teachers we shouldn't interrupt our learners when making mistakes or especially had them oral mistakes. Let's just give them some time to self-correct themselves. Okay, so no, the teacher should give the learner enough time to recognize her own mistake and correct it herself. علاه على خاطر self-correction gives more confidence للlearner. Situation 3. After correcting a quiz, the teacher notices that 70% of the class answered the question incorrectly. 70% من التلاميذ جاوبوك على السؤال بشكل خاطئ. So, the instruction now, what should the teacher do? And give 3 actions. Okay, let's answer this question. In fact, in such a case, the teacher shouldn't panic at all or start yelling and, all the drama. No, in fact, the teacher should be, aware of these mistakes and try to figure out a plan to, work on correcting these mistakes, like reteaching stuff, identifying the common mistakes, trying to find the right source of these mistakes, like what made them say this and that. Maybe my teaching style is the problem. Maybe I should opt for another, updated teaching style. Maybe I should, come up with more interesting topics and concepts. And here in red, I provided you with the suitable answers for this situation. Part 5, practical task. هنا in this type of tasks هنا رح يكون كما قال لك من اسمه بعد practical. What is said here, it is said to design a short formative assessment after teaching the simple past, 2 oral questions, 1 exit ticket, 1 peer assessment activity and 1 remediation activity. So في التمارين اللي كما هادو you are asked to give one sample of each. Okay, تمد مثال على كيفاش يكونوا oral questions, كيفاش يكون exit ticket. هنا I'm not gonna give you answers, I'm just giving you here a hint كيفاش قدر يكون a type of practical tasks, because it depends mostly on your own experiences, on your own ideas. Okay, نقدرش أنا نعطيكم فكرة نقول لكم this is the best idea, this is the best answer لازم تحطها. No, I'm just here giving you, a sample to follow, okay? And as I'm approaching the end of this video, I said why not provide you with a bonus question اللي تعود بزاف في modules like assessment and remediation and modules كما methodology اللي هو يقرأوه في المدرسة العليا للأساتذة. So yeah, وشو هذا الquestion هو إنك to identify or to explain the difference between assessment of learning and assessment for learning. Okay, you are noticing here, I'm leaving you with the ready-made answers with examples and all. So yeah, this is the end of our video. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully تكونوا استفدتوا من هذا الفيديو and see you إن شاء الله in the next video اللي راح يكون حول steps or techniques or strategies of writing, an essay about remediation or assessment or whatsoever. Okay. I'm gonna leave you now with the sheet of the key answers to all the activities in case you are interested to print it or something like this. And yeah, this is my Instagram page. Feel free to follow me for more. I'm Miss Dari, by the way,